Hi everyone, how are you all doing today? I hope you're all doing well. I'm here today because I've been crocheting these lovely little butterflies, and I thought I'd just jump on here quickly today and do a little tutorial on how I make them. So if you'd like to know, just follow along with me. You will need any weight yarn in two different colours. I'm using DK weight yarn and a 4mm crochet hook. You also need a darning needle and a pair of scissors. So let's get started. I'm going to start in this lovely green colour. So we're going to start off by making a slip knot, and the way I do this is by crossing the yarn over like that, inserting my hook through the circle, grabbing the yarn and just pulling on your working yarn. And we're going to start off by chaining 6. So to chain, we yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. That's 3, 4, 5 and 6. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch into the first stitch that we did by inserting our hook into it. Just get that out of the way, insert our hook into it, grab the yarn and just pull through 2 loops, and you should be left with a little circle which we're going to crochet into. And I'm going to carry this tail around with me so that I don't have to weave it in at the end. If you don't carry it around with you, you will have to sew it in. So we're going to start off by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and this is going to count as our first double crochet. I'm talking in US terms. In the UK that would be classed as a treble crochet. And then we're going to do another double crochet, and to do a double crochet we yarn over, insert our hook through the circle, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, which have 3 loops on the hook, and we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is a double crochet. Then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to put another 2 double crochets into the circle. So yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, grab the yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then we're going to chain 2 again and put another 2 double crochets in through the circle. 1, 2, then chain 2 again, 1, 2, and we're going to continue all the way around this little circle until we have 8 groups of these 2 double crochets. So continue on with me. I'm going to just go a little bit faster. You can pause the video if you need to, or you can speed it up if I'm going too slow. 1, 2, chain 2, 1, 2, chain 2. You might have to just push it over slightly to make space for your 8. 1, 2. Let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have to do another chain 2 and another 2 double crochets, and then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do a slip stitch into the top of our first chain 3 by inserting our hook through that little V at the top and pulling through both stitches. You're going to do another chain, pull the yarn up and just snip it off, pull that through and just tighten that up, and you should be left with something that looks like this, which is a little bit of a wonky circle, but don't worry, that's how it's supposed to look. Right, we're going to take our second colour now, and we're going to insert our hook through the first double crochet here, that not through the chain 2 space, but the 2 double crochets, and just pull your yarn through and just make a little knot to tie that on. Now I'm going to carry these 2 tails around with me so that I don't have to sew them in. You can snip this one off from the centre if you carried it round with you. If not, you'll have to sew it in. Right, so let's put those out the way so we can take them around with us. And we're going to insert our hook through that space where we just tied the yarn on. Grab your yarn like that and just do a chain 1. Now we're going to put 5 double crochets in this chain 2 space. So we'll yarn over, insert our hook through that space and do our first double crochet. That's 1. I'm going to do another 5 to make 6. 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then we're going to insert our hook through the next 2 double crochets that we did and just pull the yarn through and do a slip stitch. Now we're moving on to our next chain 2 space, and we're going to put another 6 double crochets in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a bit fiddly when you're carrying the yarn with you, but I've nearly finished with that. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And then we're going to slip stitch through the next 2 double crochets, move on to the next chain 2 space, and this is how we're going to work this round, by putting 6 double crochets in the chain 2 space and a slip stitch in between the 2 double crochets. So I will just go a little bit faster, but again you can pause the video until you've caught up and I'll meet you back at the other end to show you how to finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and our slip stitch in between the 2 double crochets, moving on to our next space for 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then in between the 2 double crochets we will slip stitch again, and then onto our next chain 2 space for 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slip stitching through our next 2 double crochets, and then 6 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. Slip stitching through the chain 2 space, grabbing the yarn and just pulling it through. That's next space for 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slip stitching through the 2 double crochets, and our last 6 double crochets now into the last chain 2 space. As it's not a big project, I like to kind of like do the whole thing for you so that you can follow with. That's 6 double crochets, and then we're going to just slip stitch into the first little chain one that we did by pulling our yarn through both them loops. You should have something that looks like a bit of a curly flower now, but what we're going to do now is chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then what we're going to do is fold our flower away from us that way to make a butterfly shape, and then just take this chain over the back and then over the front, and then slip your, it's a little bit fiddly this, but if you slip your hook under the chain there, grab the yarn and just pull it through both loops, and then do a chain 1 and pull up enough yarn, say like about 6 inches, enough to allow you to sew this end in and have a little bit extra. So we're going to snip the yarn and pull that through, and then just tighten that up like that. So, and you might just have to adjust yours a little bit, sew your ends in if you didn't carry them around with you. So you should just have this tail like this now, and your butterfly should be looking like that. What we're going to do now is just sew this end in a little bit so it doesn't ravel out. So we just thread our needle and just do a few little stitches back and forth just to keep it all secure. So I'm going to go that way, then I'm just going to go under here and then back through there and through there again and back the other way with a little finish. You can then snip that off, and with the piece that you have left over, you're going to make a little knot at one end, like that, and just snip that little bit off there, and the same on the other end, so that your knots are like about 1 inch apart. So make it and just kind of pull it along to where you want it to be. Mine's about there, so snip that end off. So you should have something that looks like this with 2 little knots either side. I'm going to take your hook now and just insert it underneath the center of your chain on your butterfly. Grab your piece of yarn and just pull it through, and then take the 2 ends and just pull it up into the center so that they're even, and there you have your little butterfly. How cute does that look? There we go. I hope you've all been able to follow along with me today, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you like my video or you have any tips or advice for me, please leave them in the comments below, and thank you for watching. Have a good day.